A lot of people make plans like, okay, I'll do this, but then what if the market crashes? Then what? And I want you to build a plan that says, I'm going to do this, and it doesn't matter if the market crashes, because that's going to actually set me up for, this, because here's how I think. It all comes back to you and how you think about it. So that's first and foremost. And in terms of being scared to call people, we could talk all day about that. I mean, for the people who are scared to call people or whatever, my question, I would just answer that question with a question and ask you, are you scared of your own shadow? Are you scared of the dark at night? Is the boogeyman going to get you when you go take the trash out? Right? Are these the kind of things you're scared of too? Because it's literally the same thing. I'm on this earth to sell as many properties as I possibly can and help as many people, agents or not agents, as I possibly can. So that's really kind of it in a nutshell. I'm just here to provide value to you guys, and hopefully you can take just a nugget of something I say that really changes the trajectory of your business over the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years. My job today is to help you with whatever it is. I want you to get something out of this where it helps you visualize where you could actually be in the next 5 or 10 years, right? That's what I would love for you guys to start doing, is visualizing where you could be in 5 or 10 years, not what we're doing this year, right? What we're doing this year is just a byproduct of the seeds we planted last year and the year before and the year before, right? Right now, we're actually working for 2025, 2024, 2030. That's what you're really doing, right? And, I don't know how many people are, brand new, or if you're struggling and you're not able to pay your bills, selling real estate yet. Or maybe you're in the statistical 90% of agents who fail. I would hate to see that. But whatever the case may be, just know that even if you are in that position, please don't become impatient with the fact that you haven't sold anything or you're not where you want to be, because that tells me two things. One, you either want it too fast, which creates nothing but anxiety, right? Or two, you don't really love this. You gotta love this, because it's a grind all the way. I'm still grinding my face off. I've made millions. I'm still grinding my ever-loving face off every day. It's never gonna end. You're not gonna get to the end of that rainbow for a long time. There is light at the end of the tunnel. In contrast to a lot of the mainstream coaching out there, which puts you in a position where you're literally communicating who you're not, which is, hey, I just want to sell a property today. That's what mainstream scripts make you sound like. Even though deep down, that's not who you are. You really want to help people, and you want to succeed, and you want the best for people. You're not just looking for a sale. You need to make money, but there's a way to go about it where you can actually use your personality as your strength. You don't have to be the high pressure. There's a different way. And Zero to Diamond is focused on helping you guys develop your communication skill level to the point where people understand that first time they talk to you, who you are as a person. So understand, it's not circle prospecting and weekly emails. It's the philosophies behind two things. One, market cycles, that closings will never stop. If this thing in Ukraine and interest rates and all this stuff happens at one time and boom, the market crashes, that's going to be a huge opportunity for us. A lot of people correlate the market with their business. If the market's down, their business is down. If the market's up, their business is up. It's not the case. It is the case that that's how you think. You're going to let the market dictate. The cycles of the market will be the cycles of your business. It gets out there. And you just have to kind of stay focused and try to stay grounded and realize that we're in this business to help people, and they're always going to want to buy or sell properties. So it's more focused around how do we become better communicators, right? And take that step in our self-development journey to become better communicators. And that's voice to voice and digital, right? The second thing is to understand that when the market goes down, I mean, what does that mean, go down really? Because honestly, if it's because one factor goes down, that means another factor is coming up. For example, what we're going through right now is a crash, right? It's an inventory crash, right? We're going through a market crash right now, guys. Why aren't you, selling less and getting out of the business? Just because prices go down or demand goes down, that doesn't mean that the market's dead and we got to get out of the business. So that's something I want to scream from the mountaintops, because I never realized that as a new agent. And I hope to God that I can help more agents understand that simple principle right there. Once you understand it and you're confident behind it, now we can put together a plan that we're fully confident and committed to, because we know we're not, like, a lot of people make plans like, okay, I'll do this, but then what if the market crashes? Then what? And I want you to build a plan that says, I'm going to do this, and it doesn't matter if the market crashes, because that's going to actually set me up for, this, because here's how I think. It all comes back to you and how you think about it. So that's first and foremost. And in terms of being scared to call people, we could talk all day about that. I mean, for the people who are scared to call people or whatever, my question, I would just answer that question with a question and ask you, are you scared of your own shadow? Are you scared of the dark at night? Is the boogeyman going to get you when you go take the trash out? Right? Are these the kind of things you're scared of too? Because it's literally the same thing. It's literally the same thing. So if you want to grow, right, in any capacity, right, any aspect of your life, you've got to do things that take you out of that comfort zone. We've all heard that cliche statement. But in real estate, what you have to understand is that we're not an e-commerce business, whereas we can just run ads on social media and get thousands of clients without talking to a single one, right? Real estate, okay, for a real estate agent, and the reason why we still exist and always will exist is because there has to be the one-on-one consultation, right? They need someone to walk us through this, right? And therefore, your job is completely predicated on talking to people that you don't know to help them buy and sell real estate. Okay, you got into this business whether you want to believe it or not, right? And the whole premise of this job and this career is to talk to people you don't know to help them buy and sell real estate. And you're telling me that you're scared to or don't want to do the thing that this job, the whole premise of this career is based on, right? And this is why you see 90% failure rate, honestly. This single factor right here is literally the thing that takes out 90% of agents, because they're so busy on things that they think will produce all this business, and it will. It just won't produce it at the rate that they need it to actually get a jump start to the capacity that will keep them in the game. Doing all the stuff that they're doing, it will create business. Go get Zillow leads. You can build. I was talking to an agent yesterday who their broker gives them leads, right? And, they take 50% on those leads, and that's a whole nother story. But he was like, yeah, I know you want me to call property. I said, listen, I don't care if you get leads from your brokerage and that's how you build your business. I think statistically 1 out of every 400 internet leads convert, right? From the statistics I see, 1 out of every 400. So you go through 400 leads and you close one. Let's say that 70% of those online leads didn't give the correct data, and you got 30% who did, right? So you got 30%, so that's 120 people out of those 400, right? That go into your database and start getting your weekly email or your content, whatever you use, whatever marketing branding machine that you have to stay in touch with people. Those people are now seeing your face over and over and over again, whether they did something or not. So out of that scenario, 400 leads, you got 120 that, let's just say 20% of those, right? That's 24, will do business, will become clients and do business with you. Right? Those 24 are all worth 10 to 20 deals to you over the life of your career. So you can do it any way you want to, but this comes back to the 5 to 10 year vision. You've got to have something in place, right, that puts you to where you're creating 5 new friends a day. At that point, guys, you're close to the top producing agent in the market. What do we do then? We keep grinding, get it to 10,000. Because the fact is, and I've seen this across so many agents, 1% of your database closes every year. Whether that be somebody directly in your database or a referral from someone in your database, the number in your database will equal 1%, right? 1% of your database will close every year. And that's if you don't prospect anymore. Okay, if you're prospecting on top of it, that number ramps. But if you want to get to, say, 100 deals a year, you need 10,000 in your database, and you don't have to prospect anymore to close that 100 deals every year. Right? And that's just, there's a lot of simple math that goes behind this business that will really make you realize, okay, I can see the 5-year goal here. I can see light at the end of the tunnel. That's where I want to be. Once I get there, then we'll talk about the next 5 years, right? Am I going to build out a team? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? Right? So now, guys, just please, it's not Groundhog Day. We're not scared of our own shadow. The boogeyman's not going to get you. The people who, here's one way to think about it. Let's say you make 100 calls and you get a listing, okay? Or you talk to 100 people, you get a listing. All right, and it's a $300,000, you get 3%. Say it's a $10,000 commission, right? $10,000, 100 calls. You made $100 per call. Even if that prospect said, "I hate realtors, never call me again. You guys are crazy, and I hate you," and hang up. Thank you for the $100. You have you a good day. We'll talk to you soon. Hopefully not, right? You made $100 every call, whether they did something or not. When I got in real estate, I had to find out what the equivalent to me it was in terms of what equals the same thing in real estate as laying shingles on a roof. Because when I laid shingles on a roof, every shingle I laid, I made money. And so that was my goal every day. I'm gonna lay as many shingles as possible. And that was the goal every day. Nothing else mattered. So I had to find out what the equivalent to that in real estate was. And it took me a long time. It took me like 6 months or so to finally realize that it's phone calls. Marketing, branding bucket. There's 3 things there. So what we want to do is keep your business as simple as possible. Okay, as simple as possible. All of you should really sit down and write down every single, and you may have this figured out. If you already know what your lead gen of choice is, who has the largest database? That's who wins. One thing I wish I knew when I was coming up or when I was new was that the goal is to make as many friends as possible in the market and have the largest database in town. That's the ultimate. That there's nothing else above that in terms of just ultimate goal. Because if you're making friends and you're creating, your goal is to create the largest database out there out of all the real estate agents in your market, you will be the top agent in your market. It's just simple math again. But what you want to do is nail that down to your top 2 that work the best for you to create those one-on-one conversations. Okay, and maybe have a third as a secondary, and then erase all the other ones and go all in with these right here.